So there's kind of a stigma around this all-day sit, in the deer woods being a really challenging thing. Oh my God, how can you stay out there all day? Well, the reality is so many die-hard whitetail guys prefer to hunt all day because you never know when that shot opportunity or moment of truth is going to happen. And a lot of guys just enjoy the recreation of being out in the woods all throughout the day. But regardless, to do it, there's some things that you've got to have with you, in case you need them. So anytime I'm hunting, safety for me is a top priority, and backpack essentially is a tool to get the gear you need from your house or your truck out into the woods where you're hunting. I always make sure I have my safety equipment with me in my pack, my safety harness, and then also an extra tether strap, a carabiner, an extra loop of cord that I can do a prusik knot if I need to attach to a lifeline. You've got your tether strap for your safety harness, you've already got your lifeline, but there's times when you might have forgotten that carabiner, you might have forgotten that prusik knot. Another kind of fundamental piece that I always take with me is a simple haul rope for my gear. It's safety oriented to make sure you've got a haul line for your rifle or your muzzleloader, your shotgun or your bow or crossbow. Because you've got to get that tool from the ground up there, 15, 20, 25 feet up in the tree. There's things that stay in my pack all year long. That way I know I've got them if I happen to leave the house without them. The number one is I always carry an extra orange vest. This is helpful anytime you're on public land or if you're rifle hunting and maybe you forgot your blaze orange. In addition to that, I carry a rain jacket, something small that you can fold up and put in your pack. That way if you do get inclement weather, you've got it just in case. And if I'm bow hunting, I always have an extra wrist strap release in my pack that I know I can shoot my bow if I forgot my release. The same thing applies for firearms hunting. I'll just take a simple little placard with some extra ammunition. That way I've got it in case I leave home without it. Step two is always to get my scent elimination strategy in order. So you're either gonna go ahead and spray down or you're gonna set up your ozone generator. So I always carry my ozonics and the screw-in unit to get that in the tree. I always make sure I've got calls and attractants in there that I can bring deer to me if I need to. A good grunt call is a staple in my pack. And if it's the right time of year in November or December and I need to bring deer to me, I always have a rattle bag or rattle antlers accessible that I can, do a calling sequence in addition to my grunt call. So one can't leave home without thing for me is a first aid kit. You need to have bandages, gauze, maybe a Neosporin or an antiseptic to clean your wound if you do cut yourself, whether you're skinning a deer or hanging a tree stand. Injuries can happen, so be prepared for that. A lot of times I'll take an Advil, ibuprofen, something like that for a pain reducer if needed. Just a basic field kit that also includes essentials like matches, a lighter, a compass. It sounds crazy sometimes to think that you would have to spend a night in the deer woods, but I'm here to tell you, a lot of guys hunt in pretty remote locations, and you might get stuck out there, so it's a good idea to have those just in case or if bad weather strikes. So the whole point of hunting, we're going after these animals. We hope to harvest one and then be able to process that game and get it back out of the woods. And that requires tools. And for you to have that on your person, your backpack is pretty important. I carry a very compact game processing kit with me that has gloves that I can protect myself when I'm doing a field dress, and I've got all the blades and bone saws and things I need to break down game effectively. And sometimes I'll take game bags to get the meat out as well, depending on what extent I need to break down that animal. So we talk about all this essential gear that we have to have with us in the field. But in reality, two of the most important things that you have to take with you for an all-day sit is food and water. It's really all about nutrition. Whether it's really hot and you're sweating, you've got to have hydration and electrolytes to get that back into your body. Or if it's really cold, the same applies. And you have to have food to really keep yourself, ready to stay despite those elements. So you have to have calories, you have to have protein. For me, I try to get as much bang out of my food as I can because you have limited space in your pack. So food can keep you out longer are the best, like beef jerky, something high in protein. I always have a bag of Old Trapper beef jerky slid in my backpack in addition to my water or Gatorade, things that I know will keep me out all day despite the conditions. And so that fatigue is real. When you get tired and you get uncomfortable and you want to go home, you're not playing the game at the highest level. And so if you're a guy who really wants to kill a big deer and you really want to be able to stay focused all day on the deer stand and not miss that moment that could be just a couple seconds where you have a shot, you probably need to eat a food that's going to keep you in the game, something like beef jerky that's high in protein. It's going to keep you sharp and it's going to give you that little bit of an edge over maybe a sugary snack or something that wouldn't really benefit you. So don't overlook the importance of having your backpack fully equipped for your next all-day deer hunt. Really, once you get the essentials in there, you're good to go throughout the year. You've got things that can keep you in the field, even if you forget them at home. You've got backups, you've got food, you've got water, you've got the nutrition you need to keep you sharp in the field and hopefully increase your chances of success.